Welcome to this edition of the SKNAS Week in Review. In this program, we recap significant activities of the government of St. Kitts and Nevis over the past week. Coming up, cruise tourism resumes. Efforts to ban single-use plastics pick up. Vending reorganization to uplift informal sector. And COVID-19 cases continue to decline. Those stories and more are next on the SKNAS Week in Review for the period July 16 to 22, 2021. Hello and welcome, I am Ian Richards. Officials from the Ministry of Tourism and the St. Kitts Tourism Authority met with industry stakeholders earlier this week in preparation for the resumption of cruise tourism in St. Kitts. On Monday, COVID-19 certified taxi and tour operators were engaged and discussed several service-related matters. Importantly, the concept of pre-approved bubble tours was reviewed. Bubble tours involve visitors going from the dispatch areas to specific sites and then back to the ship. The following day, Tuesday, another meeting was convened, this time for all stakeholders in the tourism sector. The topic was the way forward for the industry and the measures necessary to mitigate the spread of COVID-19 while meeting the expectations of excursionists and stayover visitors. On Thursday, the Seabourn Odyssey anchored at South Friars Bay, bringing 111 fully vaccinated passengers. The visit breaks the 18-month absence of cruise vessels to St. Kitts as a result of the COVID-19 global pandemic. Minister of Tourism, the Honourable Lindsay Grant, welcomed this step as a positive sign of economic recovery. He said, quote, "We are pleased to welcome the Seabourn Odyssey to St. Kitts and Nevis for the highly anticipated restart of our cruise tourism sector. St. Kitts is a destination that remains in high demand amongst travelers, and I want to thank our cruise line partners and our stakeholders here on island for working so diligently with us to ensure that all the necessary requirements are met to allow for the successful return of cruises to the Federation." Still on tourism, Chairman of the National COVID-19 Task Force, Abdius Samuel, urged persons working within the tourism industry to be extra diligent and vigilant in protecting against the deadly COVID-19 virus. The comments were made on Wednesday at the National Emergency Operations Center briefing. Mr. Samuel spoke about the importance of tourism to the economic recovery of the Twin Island Federation.
We are asking all persons providing services in these sectors to please adhere to the protocols, and also we want you to continue the path of getting vaccinated as we also prepare for another arrival within a week's period of a larger cruise ship. We want to make sure that we have services to offer to these tourists. So please continue to prepare and do the necessary things so that you can also be a part of the recovery roadmap.
Efforts to educate the public on the damaging effects of single-use plastics on the environment are continuing. The Ministry of Tourism is joining with other countries around the world this month in observing the annual Plastic-Free July. Local activities include online quizzes, broadcasts of public service awareness videos, and a panel discussion. The awareness activities do not end at the close of July, however. The Plastic Be Gone campaign will keep up the momentum and complement the Ministry of Environment's efforts to ban single-use plastics in the Federation. On Monday, Kenny Manning, the Sustainable Tourism Coordinator within the Ministry of Tourism, shared why this initiative is critical to life and the livelihoods in St. Kitts and Nevis in particular, and globally as a whole.
Plastic is one of the most prevalent garbage items that's found on beaches. It pollutes our waterways and our general environment. And if we don't have a proper clean environment, we can't really attract the tourists that we need, and tourism is a key factor in our economy. We are trying to promote a more healthy, sustainable lifestyle for all, and thus our country and economy. The 3 P's of we try to promote the people, planet, and profit. We ensure, first of all, we look for the people, we ensure there's a balance between people and the planet, and of course also look at the profit because we need money to survive and maintain our lifestyle.
Street vending in St. Kitts will be better organized and structured in the coming weeks and months as the government continues to create more opportunities to streamline the activity and boost the prospects of vendors while enhancing the look and feel of Basseterre. Many micro business owners or vendors, the majority selling agricultural produce, are now operating from Thabassia Public Market, which is centralized and offers a safer environment for all buyers and sellers. Additionally, food trucks will soon operate from a new location on North Independence Square Street. Other areas around the island have also been identified for community marketing activities, decentralizing vending from the nation's capital. On Wednesday, Austin J. Farrier, chair of the Interministerial Committee on Street Vending, said that the reorganization will uplift the informal business sector.
There's some people out there right now that are in survival mode because of COVID, and they're new to the informal sector. And so they basically don't understand the rules. There are rules in both sectors, you know. There are rules in the formal sector and there are rules in the informal sector. And if you don't know the rules in the informal sector, you basically are not going to be able to navigate it properly. All we are asking on the committee is that if you want to do anything, seek help, ask for help.
Superintendent of Police Cromwell Henry said that although vendors have a right to peddle their wares and apply their trade, it must be done in a way that does not obstruct the free flow of vehicular or pedestrian traffic. On Wednesday, Superintendent Henry noted that law enforcement is duty-bound to ensure that obstacles do not impede access to public spaces.
Anything that impedes the flow of traffic, pedestrian traffic in this case, is an obstruction. And so the authorities has a responsibility, has a duty to prevent any obstruction to the sidewalks. And we all see the type of obstruction that pedestrian, that vendors cause on the sidewalks. The vendors may take up half the sidewalk to display their wares, and their customers take up the other half of the sidewalk while they are purchasing or just looking at what the vendors are offering. And so the pedestrians who are not participating in that activity, they are now forced to go around and to walk in the street.
Efforts are continuing to identify suitable areas where vendors can continue to operate in a safer and healthier environment. On Tuesday, Prime Minister Dr. The Honorable Timothy Harris, accompanied by Permanent Secretaries Andrew Skerritt and Ron Collins, as well as Austin J. Farrier, toured a number of sites designated for vending operations. Some of the areas identified are the Borio Strip, Connery, and Pond Road. Prime Minister Harris said that the selection of locations was informed after thorough studies and assessments.
We are giving thought to issues of congestions, traffic control, health issues. All those issues are being dealt with as we attempt to bring some order and facilitation to the way in which vending is being conducted in all ways to improve and to facilitate entrepreneurship in the country. Entrepreneurship is what we are about, but it has to be done in ways which are safe and which, of course, accord with all the requirements of the law in St. Kitts and Nevis. So we ask for patience from those who have not yet been allocated a space.
Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Dr. The Honorable Timothy Harris, met with the leadership of various bus associations on Friday to help allay their concerns regarding the recently announced stimulus package targeting owners of buses. Prime Minister Harris told the bus drivers that his government is cognizant of some of the additional challenges they face and gave the assurance that the administration is doing all that is necessary at a time when its revenue stream is significantly affected to address these concerns. The representatives of the bus associations thanked the St. Kitts and Nevis government for the implementation of its stimulus relief targeted at passenger bus operators and owners. They also commended the Honorable Prime Minister for taking time out to sit and listen to their concerns. And finally, cases of COVID-19 continue to drastically decline in St. Kitts and Nevis. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Hazel Laws updated statistics on Wednesday.
This slide shows the incidence, the number or the daily counts between May 19th to July 19th, and then you see the curve. And so based on this curve, I can say that we saw the peak round about the 23rd of June, and we noted a downward trend. And at present, our daily count is within the single digits, and we want to keep it like that.
That's all for this edition of the SKNIS Week in Review. For more information on these and other stories, visit us at sknis.gov.km. I'm Ian Richards.